So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Green Entrepreneurship track session. In this session, we will explore the Green Entrepreneurship program of SwitchMed. And in order to start, just a quick reminder in terms of logistics. As you know, you have the interpretation, translation into English, French, and Arabic in the option. And also in the question and answer blocks, you will be able to formulate your question, and we will be more than happy to answer the question from the audience. So in order to introduce and to exchange about the green entrepreneurship component of SwitchMed, we have a session that is structured into 3 main blocks. So the first one, as you know, the overall goal of the green entrepreneurship program is to support an enabling ecosystem for the development of sustainable businesses. So this first block will be sharing the experience of implementing national partnership of business support organizations in the different countries to support green entrepreneurs. A second block will share the activities related with direct support that is provided to green entrepreneurs by the business support organizations and by SwitchMed. And finally, a third block is linked with access to finance, so try to see how we try to engage impact investors to support the entrepreneurs. So I will start with a very brief reminder of which is SwitchMed's strategy to foster the national ecosystems in the target countries, so in the Southern Mediterranean countries in which SwitchMed is working. We are trying to promote national partnerships of business support organizations in order to support the sustainable businesses. So this is the main activities linked with this enabling ecosystem for sustainable businesses. Why we are trying to support these partnerships? Because we understood from the first phase of SwitchMed already that in order to support green business development and circular business development, entrepreneurs and startups need a huge variety of support services and technical advice. So starting from business model development, green business model development when they have an idea, then mentoring and coaching, for example, and technical assistance to network development, and also, of course, access to finance and access to markets that are crucial, up to enabling policies that can support those entrepreneurs. So in order to provide all this huge variety of services, support services to the entrepreneurs and the green startups, we need to mobilize very different actors, very different stakeholders that can support the entrepreneurs. So that's why we work with business support organizations, financial actors, experts, policymakers, and so on. And one of the most important actors, of course, are the business support organizations, which are delivering the majority of those services to the green entrepreneurs. So that's why SwitchMed is trying to promote in all the countries what we call Switch Support National Partnership, that are informal networks that are gathering the business support organizations that can be public, private, or non-profit organization in the different countries. So those organizations are providing complementary services for the green entrepreneurs. The main purpose of the partnership is to bring together those actors, so to encourage that they can exchange information about their activities and the service that they provide to the entrepreneurs, also exchange knowledge, for example, all the methodologies that SwitchMed is providing for sustainable business development, and also to coordinate their activities in order to offer a more coherent set of services to the entrepreneurs in the country, for example. Even they can undertake joint activities with a more ambitious goal, and for example, having collective fundraising to channel additional funds to the entrepreneurs. So at this moment, we have already almost 100 business organizations that are taking part in those national partnerships in the different countries. You can have the details by country in this table. And today we wanted to show you the progress of this activity with some experiences in the different countries. So we will have 3 local partners in 3 countries, in Lebanon, Morocco, and Algeria, exchanging the experience of developing the national partnership. And afterwards, we will also have an open discussion with all the local partners in the different countries so that they can also exchange between the different countries and have some answer for the other experiences. Unfortunately, we can't go through all the 8 countries because we don't have enough time, but we can have a quick overview of some of the countries and then an open discussion between all the partners. So we will start with Morocco. I will switch to French in this sense. Je voudrais donc donner la bienvenue à Madame Hachami, qui est la représentante de notre partenaire au Maroc, le Centre des très petites entreprises solidaires, et qui va nous présenter un peu l'expérience au Maroc quant à la mise en place du partenariat national d'appui aux switchers. Merci beaucoup, Meriem, et je vous donne la parole.
Bonjour tout le monde. Je me présente, je suis Meriem Hachami du Centre Très Petite Entreprise Solidaire, qui est un incubateur mis en place conformément aux instructions royales et dont la mission principale est le financement, c'est l'insertion des jeunes et femmes dans le circuit économique à travers la création de leur propre entreprise. Le centre offre un appui financier et logistique aux porteurs de projets ayant des aptitudes et des motivations entrepreneuriales et porteurs de projets économiquement viables. Alors, le centre est partenaire de SwitchMed pour la mise en œuvre du programme SwitchMed au Maroc après 2 premières expériences en 2017 et 2018. Ce programme a démarré en 2020 par la constitution d'un partenariat national de soutien des switchers regroupant des acteurs locaux ayant l'économie verte et les circulaires comme objectif principal. J'arrive pas à défiler la présentation. Giorgio, excusez-moi, oui. J'ai un petit problème, j'arrive pas à défiler la présentation. Vous voyez quelque chose?
On voit la première slide, la première page. Je ne sais pas si on peut vous aider depuis Barcelone. Non, on peut pas faire grand-chose. Si vous n'arrivez pas à avancer, vous pouvez juste faire la présentation sans l'appui du PowerPoint. Essayez peut-être de sortir et de rentrer à nouveau. Voilà. Oui, maintenant, on voit. Okay, vous pouvez même le laisser comme ça, c'est bon. Merci.
OK, c'est parfait. Alors, excusez-moi. Alors, l'objectif de ce partenariat se résume dans 4 points essentiels. C'est tout d'abord rassembler les organisations privées, publiques à but non lucratif de soutien aux entreprises et qui ciblent les entreprises durables. Aussi, offrir des services complémentaires aux entrepreneurs verts à différents stades de développement, puis canaliser les fonds pour le soutien au développement des entreprises durables et ensuite promouvoir des stratégies et des actions communes pour le développement des entreprises durables. En avril 2020, et après l'identification des principaux acteurs de soutien à la création des entreprises durables, des réunions préliminaires avec les acteurs de l'écosystème afin de les sensibiliser et les informer sur les objectifs et les résultats attendus du PNS. En juillet 2020, une rencontre nationale a été organisée pour annoncer le lancement officiel du PNS, d'où la constitution du réseau PNS et la mise en place d'une charte éthique du réseau PNS au Maroc. Le centre, en tant que coordinateur du projet et en concertation avec le réseau, a lancé des actions de renforcement des capacités par le biais de formations de formateurs sur l'entrepreneuriat durable. Et en septembre 2020, c'était l'organisation de la première formation de formateurs organisée en collaboration avec l'équipe SwitchMed. Entre avril et juin 2021, et afin de constituer un pool d'experts pour accompagner les entreprises durables, le réseau a lancé la première duplication de formation de formateurs. Alors, le réseau PNS marocain est constitué de 23 membres de différents secteurs et de différents acteurs, une bonne représentativité des différents secteurs. Il y a les acteurs financiers, des ONG, des acteurs du secteur public et des acteurs du secteur privé. Et afin de formaliser cet accord, les membres du PNS ont procédé à la signature d'une charte éthique dans un but de consolider les dialogues multipartis en mettant un mécanisme de coordination, ainsi unir les forces et les efforts pour mieux servir les porteurs de projets verts dans notre pays. Il n'y a pas de problème.
Merci, merci beaucoup. Donc, now we will switch, no? We always switch, so we will switch to Lebanon. So sorry, Nancy, if you were expecting to be the first one. So Nancy Boueri, Miss Nancy Boueri will share with us the experience in Lebanon of the EcoSwitch Coalition. So this is the name that the partners in Lebanon picked for the national partnership in Lebanon. So please, Nancy, if you can provide us a brief overview of the process and the results of the national partnership in Lebanon. Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Giorgio.
And please, we are...
Miriam, would you please stop sharing the slides?
And please, Nancy, we really have to be extremely brief because the schedule is extremely busy and it will be challenging to have all the speakers to be able to intervene. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I will take 4 or 5 minutes maximum for my presentation. Well, let's see. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes,
Hi,
perfect.
everyone. So this is Nancy Boueri, Programs Manager at Fondation Diane, the implementing partner of SwitchMed in Lebanon. Happy to introduce the EcoSwitch Coalition, a network of organizations that support eco-entrepreneurs in Lebanon. Well, the coalition was launched in November 2020 as part of the SwitchMed Green Entrepreneurship Program within the framework, as we said, of SwitchMed Support National Partnership, with an objective of fostering green entrepreneurship in Lebanon and helping them to grow their positive environmental impact through a variety of support mechanisms. So this is our logo. I'm happy to introduce all of our partners. We are 17 partners, 14 created this partnership, and 3 new partners joined in 2021, with more to join in the future. We have signed as partners declaration, which highlights all what we are committed to do in support of green entrepreneurs in Lebanon. Partners exchange, learn, and collaborate together a strong ecosystem in Lebanon. And this is the main aim in order to enlarging it, taking it into a regional perspective as well.
مش برشا جبت خلوها وحدهم سبوستيف.
There is someone who is... Yes.
Please, if everybody can, all the participants can just silence their micro, please.
Oui, oui, bonjour.
Please, if you can mute everyone so that I can continue our presentation. Thank you. Okay. So depending on the program that each partner of this coalition runs, we offer trainings, expertise provided by specialists and experts in order to allow and help green entrepreneurs appeal to investors and give them access to green loans and grants, etc. In addition, green entrepreneurs could benefit from technical and operational support throughout their journey. So this is very important to share all of our experience in support of green entrepreneurs and to share resources throughout our platform that I will introduce later. We have organized so far 2 events, 2 entrepreneurship labs, that all of partners divided into task forces have tried to work on what kind of labs would be of interest of green entrepreneurs. The first lab took place in July, and it was like to bridge the gap with industries where we have sector actors from the public and the private sectors who intervened.
Hello.
I guess we have lots of interferences while I'm speaking. So the second lab was last month in September, and it was successfully held. Also, it had hands-on entrepreneurship lab helping the GEs to tell the story of their environmental and social impact and learn more on how to pitch to a high level of jury experts. The third event, which we are very happy to announce today, will take place in November. And the first 2 days will be online, virtually, but the third day will leave the floor to have a physical event to gather all of the green entrepreneurs and to do networking and to see each other, also like providing them a space for share experiences together and to learn from partners and from other entrepreneurs about challenges and all successes. Well, that's it for today. So we invite you of this Switch Festival, which is the first annual event that we will do under SwitchMed program as well. Last but not least, we have launched our new website. It's an online platform that is available for any eco-entrepreneur who is happy to know more about our programs that are running and to register for the future event and to have a little bit of information of what has been done later. So we invite all of you to visit our platform and to make it grow by having more entrepreneurs creating their profiles in this platform. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nancy. And congratulations for all the work and the efforts in Lebanon. We now will be moving to Algeria, so I will also switch to French. Je voudrais donner la bienvenue à Monsieur Abdelkader Fergui, qui est le directeur de notre partenaire local en Algérie, le Centre national des technologies de production plus propres. Et le CNTPP a été un partenaire de SwitchMed depuis le début de l'initiative. Donc c'est parmi les partenaires qu'on voudrait remercier pour avoir accepté ce défi depuis le début, quand tout était encore à faire et on n'avait pas encore beaucoup d'éléments sur l'initiative. Donc bonjour Monsieur Fergui, est-ce que vous m'entendez? Si vous pouvez très très brièvement nous donner un aperçu de la situation du travail de constitution du partenariat national en Algérie. Je vais vous demander d'être très bref parce que malheureusement, on n'a pas beaucoup de temps et énormément de personnes qui vont devoir intervenir dans la session qui est très chargée. Merci beaucoup.
Est-ce que vous m'entendez? Parce que moi, je n'entends pas. Moi, par contre, je ne vous entends pas.
Vous n'entendez pas?
C'est pas grave, ben, je vais quand même mettre. Je vais partager.
Non, mais oui.
Est-ce que vous m'entendez? Giorgio, vous m'entendez là?
Ami, non, mais vous m'entendez? Non.
Oui, moi je vous entends
Alors,
maintenant.
oui, désolé, il semble qu'il y a eu un petit problème de son depuis de notre côté. Je disais seulement, donc, on passait maintenant à l'Algérie. Je vous présentais donc Monsieur Abdelkader Fergui, le directeur du Centre national des technologies de production plus propre en Algérie, qui a été un partenaire de SwitchMed depuis la première heure de l'initiative. Donc, je voulais profiter de l'occasion pour remercier le CNTPP et M. Fergui et tous les partenaires qui participent depuis le début d'avoir accepté ce défi, même à un moment où tout était encore à faire et SwitchMed n'était qu'un pari finalement. Non? Donc si vous pouvez, M. Fergui, brièvement nous donner un aperçu de la situation du travail en Algérie, de la création du partenariat national. Et je vais vous demander d'être extrêmement bref parce que malheureusement, le temps est très limité. On a beaucoup d'interventions très intéressantes au cours de la session et il va falloir qu'on limite le temps d'intervention. Merci beaucoup.
Merci Giorgio. Donc, effectivement, je suis le directeur général du Centre national des technologies de production plus propre. C'est un organisme sous tutelle du ministère de l'Environnement. Et il faut dire que, comme vous l'avez si bien cité, SwitchMed était au début qu'une initiative. Et là, nous en sommes un peu à une approche de partenariat durable, donc à quelque chose de beaucoup plus périn et de beaucoup plus durable et solide certainement. Donc, tout a commencé en 2015, comme vous l'avez si bien dit, par le plan national d'action sur les modes de consommation et production durable. Après, nous avons eu beaucoup d'actions, notamment les sessions de formation de 2015-2018 qui étaient très fructueuses, mais aussi ça a fait un tout petit peu effet boule de neige et nous retrouvons avec d'autres programmes sectoriels tels que celui du ministère de l'Environnement. Il faut citer que d'autres agences et d'autres programmes de coopération, notamment de la GIZ, mais aussi de la société civile, ont été depuis créés et dupliqués, oserais-je dire, en Algérie. Donc tout ça avait nécessité une sorte de mise à l'échelle pour prendre les leçons apprises et surtout faire le focus cette fois-ci, grâce au PNS, sur ce qu'on appelle la transversalité de la question de l'entrepreneuriat vert. C'est quelque chose qui se tient à tous les niveaux, dans tous les secteurs et dans pas mal de thématiques. Donc à partir de 2020, il y a eu aussi un contexte très favorable en Algérie. Nous avons créé un ministère qui est dédié aux startups. Ce même ministère a mis en place une réglementation, a créé des labels, notamment sur des labels d'incubateurs, des labels de startups, mais aussi accompagné ça par des facilitations fiscales et financières, et puis un fonds national qui est dédié justement au financement des startups. Il y a aussi la refonte de statut des principales agences d'appui à l'entrepreneuriat qui, jusqu'à maintenant, peut-être se cantonnaient à un entrepreneuriat, disons, linéaire, et de plus en plus d'agences et de structures d'appui ont changé de statut, ce qui favorise un peu l'événement ou l'émergence de l'entrepreneuriat vert en Algérie. Et puis il y a d'autres initiatives qui sont faites notamment par des salons, le salon Reval, le salon Sierra, et d'autres projets initiés notamment par d'autres agences de coopération. Tout ça pour dire qu'il y a une appropriation de l'enjeu de l'entrepreneuriat vert et durable par les différents acteurs et par différentes parties prenantes, notamment des ministères, des associations et des investisseurs. Et ça, c'est très, très important pour la réussite justement de cette dissémination. Cette dissémination qui était au début, comme je l'ai si bien dit, une dissémination, et plutôt va vers l'accroissement de l'entrepreneuriat. Aller plus vite. Pour pouvoir le faire, il faut dire que nous avons eu besoin de comprendre les SAD, de comprendre leur offre d'accompagnement, de comprendre leur mission, pour pouvoir justement imbriquer ou intégrer la dimension environnementale davantage. Il fallait aussi accroître et durabiliser l'apport, c'est-à-dire que les SAD travaillent, accompagnent des éco-entrepreneurs, mais nous ne savons pas réellement à quelle mesure ça peut être agrandi, mais surtout durabilisé. Il y a aussi l'enjeu ou le défi de la mise en place d'un processus, d'une démarche harmonieuse avec les objectifs des indicateurs au niveau des SAD. Ça veut dire qu'au niveau des SAD, nous n'avons pas une clarté par rapport à l'entrepreneuriat vert. Il est souvent assimilé à de l'entrepreneuriat social et parfois ça va carrément dans des initiatives de volontariat. Donc, il est peut-être parfois mal compris. Et puis, il s'agit aussi d'attirer les capitaux et les financements, notamment à travers les projets, à travers les plans d'action de ces mêmes agences et de ces structures d'appui. Donc tout ça, c'est un enjeu qu'il faut garder à l'esprit lors de ce PNS qui se construit en fin de compte. Il ne se décrète pas, on ne décide pas du jour au lendemain de dire qu'on a un partenariat. C'est quelque chose qui se construit dans la durée et c'est surtout quelque chose qui se discute à longueur de réunions et de rencontres. Tout l'intérêt justement de mieux communiquer autour de l'entrepreneuriat vert et de mieux, en fin de compte, expliquer l'enjeu, mais aussi expliquer le poids de cette dimension très importante qui est l'environnement. Donc, ce partenariat, nous l'avons choisi par la formation, par l'accompagnement, et nous pensons que c'est très important, en fait, de construire le partenariat autour de la connaissance. Ça veut dire que comment faire pour que ces structures d'appui puissent adhérer à un partenariat? Eh bien, justement, par la formation. La formation est un excellent moyen justement de créer ce partenariat et je pense que c'est très très important. C'est des agences qui ont beaucoup de démembrement. Je vous cite le cas de l'ANAD, qui est l'Agence nationale pour l'appui au développement de l'entrepreneuriat, qui a 48 antennes au niveau national, c'est très important. Donc vous pouvez d'ores et déjà, rien qu'en formant des experts à l'ANAD, former 48 autres experts. Je cite aussi l'Agence nationale de l'emploi qui en a 208 agences et c'est très très important. C'est pour ça que nous avons choisi la voie de la formation, le renforcement des capacités et je peux vous garantir que c'est un excellent moyen justement de créer ce partenariat. Donc, dématérialiser le processus était très important. Nous parlons de territoires énormes et donc c'est très important que ça soit fait d'une manière dématérialisée. Donc, une méthodologie qui est à portée de clic, si je me permettais l'expression. Ben, les prochaines étapes sont très claires. D'abord, lancer très prochainement un appel à candidature pour les élections, pour la sélection des 120 partenaires d'idées de projet. Disons que cette fois-ci, c'est au SAD d'être au gouvernail, c'est au SAD justement, ces secteurs d'appui, de mener le bateau, de faire les candidatures et la sélection. Nous leur donnons cette méthodologie grâce au SCPRAC et nous les suivons, nous accompagnons aussi pour qu'ils réussissent. Donc, je parlais de l'implication de la formation de formateurs au profit des SAD, c'est une action majeure.
Désolé de vous couper, M. Ferrier, il faut qu'on avance avec le programme. Parce qu'on
j'ai fini avec l'atelier qui va être fait très, très, très bientôt. Merci, Giorgio.
Merci beaucoup. Désolé, hein. Je suis vraiment désolé de devoir couper les interventions. Mais malheureusement, on était très ambitieux sur les temps très brefs d'intervention, mais ce n'est pas évident de contrôler les temps. So now we will move to a very brief open discussion panel with the rest of the partners. As we said, we hadn't the chance to have all the partners presenting their experience in all the countries because we don't have enough time. Hopefully we can do this kind of event in the future and exchange with the 8 countries and have an in-depth discussion in this sense. But now we will just encourage the rest of the countries, the rest of the local partners to share if they have some specific questions or they want to share some experience, but something really, really brief, please, because the schedule is extremely busy. So please, from the rest of the countries, if you want to see if you have some question for the rest of the local partners or just feel free to ask to intervene. I think that we have Salwa Bousgarou from Tunisia. Salwa, s'il te plaît.
Oui, bonjour Giorgio, bonjour tout le monde. Donc, je suis Salwa Bousgarou, coordinatrice locale du projet SwitchMed en éco-entrepreneuriat. Donc, voilà pour vous présenter le rôle du CITET dans la mise en œuvre du programme SwitchMed en éco-entrepreneuriat. En fait, le CITET, qui est un organisme sous tutelle du ministère de l'Environnement, il est le partenaire du programme SwitchMed depuis 2014. Donc, voilà, nous sommes dans la deuxième phase du programme SwitchMed pour éventuellement donc, mettre en place le partenariat national de soutien aux switchers et transférer la méthodologie et les outils aux services d'appui pour le développement des entreprises. Donc, depuis le démarrage du projet en 2020, avril plus précisément, les préparatifs ont commencé en avril 2020. Donc, on a pu quand même mobiliser 20 acteurs très actifs, publics et privés, et aussi appartenant à la société civile, spécialisés dans le système éco-entrepreneurial. donc, qui ont été engagés par le CITET pour faire partie du partenariat national des switchers. Et bien sûr, à travers ce partenariat, on a pu transférer cette méthodologie par la co-création d'un écosystème d'affaires vert performant, et ceci sur la base d'une collaboration constructive entre les acteurs publics et privés, et bien sûr pour l'exclusion d'une approche intégrée au profit des switchers. Donc on a formé aussi 25 formateurs sur la méthodologie de SwitchMed.
Salwa, je suis vraiment désolé, mais on n'a vraiment pas le temps pour avoir des présentations détaillées de tous les pays. Comme on a dit, on espère pouvoir organiser une session spécifique pour partager entre les partenaires, mais c'est vraiment d'avoir la possibilité que le reste des pays juste pose une question très, très rapide, une réflexion très rapide. Donc, vous pouvez envoyer toute l'information, on la partagera avec le reste des partenaires. I don't know if somebody else wants to intervene, maybe from Jordan, our partner BDC, Business Development Center, Galeb. Please just take 1 minute maximum because we don't have time for more.
Yeah, thank you, Giorgio, for giving us this opportunity. Definitely, quickly, I'm the Minister of Agriculture Office, so I might join the meeting in a minute as well. Thank you for inviting us to this important event. Our partnership with SwitchMed continued for years. This year, we are celebrating the 6th year of our partnership with SwitchMed, and our role at the first year launching the program was to support entrepreneurs through capacity building. After the great success achieved, our mission expanded in larger scale, utilizing the innovative approach and mechanism of SwitchMed. In this innovative approach, we will transfer this knowledge to BDSPs, as you know, and we will also have business incubation. This is the change in the methodology. And now we are supervising BDSPs instead of implementing the project directly. The methodology followed by SwitchMed that we are adapting in Jordan in partnership with the Ministry of Environment and related stakeholders, and reaching out to investors for supporting green entrepreneurs will support us in establishing specialized green ecosystem, which is very important in all pillars and activities. Within the implication of COVID-19, as well, His Majesty give instructions to gather all efforts towards supporting economy and community development. So the green entrepreneurship and SwitchMed program and the EE support is highly appreciated, and as well, it's very important to our country. The green growth is also the top priority of government, and we are glad to be the first to adapt different methods in cooperation with SwitchMed. Definitely, we have launched a program after a while. We have started last year, and now we build the capacity of our green trainers, and now we are in process of transferring the knowledge and know-how to our green entrepreneurs. I have with me as well my colleague Mohammed Shamaili, who's managing the project. Sorry for that. I need to leave right now because, as you know, our CEO and President, he was appointed lately before 1 week to be the Minister of Labor, and he's leaving. And now I'm managing BDC instead of him. Thank you so much for your time and for giving us the opportunity just to speak quickly and to give a brief about our partnership with SwitchMed, and I would like to thank EU and all SwitchMed team for their great support.
Thank you very much, Galeb, and congratulations for the president of BDC to be appointed in the government in Jordan. So maybe we can have a last intervention from some local partner if somebody wants to take the floor. It has to be extremely brief, so you have 1 minute.
Yes. Yeah.
So
So much.
I can't see who is asking for the floor, so I need some help on that. Somebody, no? Okay, fine. Yeah, but we already had Tunisia, so maybe if, since we don't have time, only if, for example, we would have Palestine or Israel, if you want to share some words, or we will move to the next block.
Oui, Giorgio. Est-ce que je peux...
Oui, très brièvement, Saloua, merci.
Oui. D'accord, merci. Bon, j'ai déjà présenté que le CITED, déjà, il a formé le partenariat national des switchers. Donc, courant le mois de novembre, on va organiser un atelier d'information et de vulgarisation qui est destiné donc aux acteurs publics et privés pour informer autour du PNS et de l'apport de PNS pour renforcer donc l'intégration de la dimension environnementale et sociale dans le développement de modèles d'affaires durables et surtout la participation commune à des offres et des offres et des services à travers ce PNS. Donc, on a pu mobiliser 150 entrepreneurs à travers un appel à candidature qui a été lancé. Donc, le programme de SwitchMed, il va démarrer donc début novembre 2021. Et c'est les membres de PNS qui ont été engagés par le CITED à travers donc, un accord de partenariat qui vont participer dans la formation et le coaching et l'incubation de ces éco-entrepreneurs.
Parfait.
Donc,
merci
voilà,
beaucoup.
Grosso modo. Hein,
merci beaucoup, Saloua. Excellent travail. Donc, on espère pouvoir partager plus de détails aussi dans le futur. Merci beaucoup. So we will move to the last block of this first part of this Green Entrepreneurship track. So that is linked, as you know, one of the most important activities and the focus of this second phase of SwitchMed, apart from establish those enabling ecosystem and the national partnership, is to transfer all the methodologies and knowledge about sustainable business development to the national ecosystem. So in this sense, we wanted also to share some experience linked with the Training of Trainers program. This is a very ambitious training program in the second phase of SwitchMed. We have already trained 220 trainers in 7 countries, and we are working with the SCPRAC staff in those training of trainers, also with the contribution of external experts. One of those experts is Doron Fahima in Israel, and we wanted to ask him if he could briefly share his experience in the training of trainer programs in Israel. Doron is also a trainer that is certified by SwitchMed and has been working with us from the very beginning of the SwitchMed, so it's an old contributor to the initiative. Thank you very much, Doron, and please, you have only 3 or 5 minutes maximum.
It's okay. Thank you, Giorgio. First of all, I would like to thank you and Daniel and the team, of course, for the opportunity to share our experience and also the trust to give us the opportunity to do a local TOT. So my name is Doron Fahima, and I'm from 2014, I think, or 15 in the SwitchMed project. and I'm the professional manager of the project in this in the second phase, and also I also led the first stage. So Archimedes said, "He give me a place to stand and level long enough, and I will move the world." And I think this is the most appropriate sentence to describe the second phase of the project. Because if we deal directly with the end users, with the entrepreneurs, now we are dealing with super spreaders. So we are giving the online tools and also the methodology to the people that they are going to spread it all over. And I think it's great, and we see already the result of what we did. So the process, I'm talking only about the TOT training that we did in Israel. So first of all, our strategy was to focus and target organization that they are able to really to spread the knowledge and the methodology. So we target them, and we direct call them. We made exposure day, and also you participate, Giorgio. We showed the program and the tools. There were 31. Then we select the BSOs, and then the trainers, and then we did the TOT in Israel. I think the most effective thing was to gather together organization from different areas. So the business sector, they are no thinking environment. The consultant from the business sector, we gave them, we emphasized the environmental and social thinking. The academy, we emphasized the practical thinking. And the NGOs that they have agenda and the ideology, not all of them thinking about economical thinking, we brought all of them together, and each of them saw the point of view of the other one, and it was great because the NGO understood they need economical thinking, and the business, they understood that they need the environmental and the social thinking. So this was the agenda. We did total 7 days, and we gave them also homework, and the people, the trainers, they were really going to the tools, the online tools, the very good tools, and they are there to work and to make homework. How we did it? First of all, the theory, the methodology, case studies, local case studies, and SwitchMed case studies, the online tools, but really try them. Homework, group learning, it was great that they were sitting together and sharing ideas, and knowledge and point of view sharing. So the impact that we did at the TOT was in a local TOT. First of all, the language, no barriers, free, accessible communication. We got a local case studies. People brought local case studies. We create bonding and a feeling of a special unit, knowledge, information, point of view, agenda sharing. And suddenly you saw people changing their point of view and creating a joint venture. In the end of the TOT, there were already a joint venture between the organization, the NGOs, the academies, and the business sector.
Thank you, Doron. We have to close. Huh? Yeah, fine, perfect. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Doron, for sharing the experience. So now we will move to the next block, linked with the direct support provided to the entrepreneurs. So I will leave the floor to my colleague Andrea Rus. So we will explain the activities and the methodology to support the entrepreneurs in the program, and also we will have some experiences from trainers and the green entrepreneurs that are taking part in the program. If you have questions, just leave them in the chat and we will try to answer all of them at the end of the session. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Giorgio. Thanks a lot for giving me the floor. So, well, thank you all of you for attending today. I'm very happy to have the opportunity to introduce a little bit how SwitchMed is supporting sustainable entrepreneurs and startups. I will be very short today, so we can move and give the floor to a trainer and some green entrepreneurs that will be introducing their ventures to you. So, okay, just to give you a little bit of context on the Switchers support program, our goal is contributing to the 2030 agenda for sustainable development by creating an ecosystem, as Giorgio introduced before during his presentation. So what we do is we enable this ecosystem by connecting all the actors you have there, so the green entrepreneurs, the business support organizations that we hear from some minutes ago, trainers, financial institutions, and policymakers. On top of that, we have other activities that we will also introduce later, but just to give you like some numbers, till date we have supported over 800 green entrepreneurs in developing their sustainable business model, and also we have incubated 80 green entrepreneurs. We have put all that together in our website, theswitchers.org, that we have created it with the goal of having an interactive platform. So all these stakeholders I was introducing before could interact on that platform. On that platform, what we have done is a single entry point to the Switchers resources, support program resources. So as you have here, we have developed it in 4 different areas. First of all, the Switchers toolbox, where we have given access to innovative methodologies and different tools for sustainable business development for the entrepreneurs. Also, the Switchers Fund that connects sustainable businesses with financial actors in the Mediterranean. As well, it's the door to the Switchers community, where you can also get inspired from the stories of other Switchers we have incubated before. And also, we have the Switchers Policy Hub, where you can learn more about the policies that are enabling green entrepreneurship in the Mediterranean. So what is the Switchers Toolbox, the first area I was introducing before? This toolbox puts the green entrepreneur in the core of the platform and allows him or her to interact with all the stakeholders we were talking before. So to learn from business support organizations and interact with them, and also apply for their calls, financial actors, also to connect with trainers and mentors, and to access the methodologies I will introduce now. Till now, at the platform, we have more than 3,500 green entrepreneurs that have registered, and also more than 140 trainers and over 80 business support organizations. So we are pretty happy with those numbers. Some of the tools that you as a green entrepreneur can access and in the toolbox are the ones that are listed here. I want to put some attention in the fact that it does not matter in which stage you are as an entrepreneur, because we have a whole range of methodologies that you can benefit from. If you're in the ideation stage, you can access the green business model that will help you develop your green business canvas. Also, the green business plan section, where you can develop your green business plan. Also, if you already have a registered organization, you can use the eco design tool that helps you assess the environmental impact of your organization. Also, we provide you with tools to develop and improve your finance and marketing strategy. And last but not least, we have developed an impact monitoring tool that will help you measure and monitor your impact. So I've tried to be super fast here, so we can move to the really important stories here. That are the perspective of trainers and green entrepreneurs. So I would like to give the floor to Maya Kakur, who is a certified trainer at the SwitchMed program. So I don't know if we are able to connect.
Hi, Andrea. Can you hear me?
Yep, yeah, we can. Nice to see
Hello,
you.
everyone. Very pleased to be here.
Thank you very much, Maya. So I guess, yeah, we have your presentation on screen, so feel free to start whenever you feel ready.
Actually, I do not have a presentation, so maybe it's not mine. I don't see a presentation.
Just give us a second. Okay, so there is no presentation. So just
no, I was actually planning to share my screen to show the switchers platform.
Perfect, that sounds good.
Okay, great. Okay, so hello everyone, and thank you again, Andrea. Basically, I'm an environmental consultant and a circular economy specialist, and I'm one of the main trainers in Lebanon for the SwitchMed Green Entrepreneurship Program. I was involved from the beginning. I was lucky enough to be involved from the beginning of the program in 2015, where I took the training of trainers for green entrepreneurs. And since then, I have been coaching and training entrepreneurs from different design fields and fields who are at ideation phase and more advanced phase in their startups in order to improve their business idea and in particular the eco aspect of their business idea. So we have been using the SwitchMed methodology in order to do so, and this was extremely beneficial. As you may know, from the beginning of the program, we used workbooks and textbooks. So we followed the methodology, but on paper, while with the new phase of the SwitchMed program, the one that started 2 years ago, we were lucky enough to be able to use the SwitchMed platform online. I'm going to share my screen to give you an idea of the SwitchMed platform. Basically, the advantage of this platform, and it came really handy in the times of COVID, where everybody around the world was actually locked down and most of us had to work from home. This allowed us to actually deliver the trainings online, and it allowed most people across the country to be able to attend them, and despite the difficult circumstances that we are going through. So the methodology, as Andrea mentioned before, encompasses a variety of tools. There is the Green Business Model Canvas, there is the Green Business Plan, the Eco Design Tool, Financial Toolkit, Access to Market, and Impact Measurement Toolkit. You can see them here to the left-hand side. The platform is free. Anyone can register and access it. It's extremely handy. It's very practical. It has a series of exercises and a step-by-step approach that is very useful. So you can see on my screen here, just to give you an example, within the Green Business Model Toolkit, we have a series of exercises. So it starts by sketching and setting the idea. Then we start building the business idea. We looked at different parameters, such as the stakeholders, the different customer segments, mapping the customers, and so on. And then we have one of the most important exercises, which is, in my opinion, one of the real added value of the SwitchMed methodology. It is the eco-design part, which is why we are focusing on green and sustainable businesses. So this eco-design exercise is very thorough and looks at the whole life cycle of a product and a service. So we have different design cards that we look into, such as materials, extractions and resources, the production process, the packaging, and so on, to look at the whole life cycle of the product and to discuss with the entrepreneurs how they can better design their products from the beginning with a circular approach, with a more environmentally friendly features, and also a result with socially responsible businesses. So we focus a lot on this in our training process. We really thoroughly look into the eco-design, and we advise our entrepreneurs on how this can be improved in order to better the end result and the product and service from an environmental perspective. I think apart from that, personally, in terms of the experience, it has been a really wonderful experience working with entrepreneurs across the country. I feel that in particular, given all of these difficult times we are going through, especially in Lebanon, as you may know, these trainings, the support program, and the support that we are receiving, in particular, very proactively from SCP-RAC, is helping many entrepreneurs to be in terms of really being able to frame their idea and to improve it and to get access to experts, to get access to resources, to contact different partners in the field and be able to advance in a positive way. It's also allowing us to create a community of green entrepreneurs in the country. So we're doing networking events and different activities also thanks to the national partnership coalition that we have. All of this is really providing a positive and meaningful support to green entrepreneurs in the country. Okay. So I'm going to end here, unless you have a specific question for me, Andrea.
No, I think that will be all. Thank you very much, Madia, for your intervention. We'll leave the Q&A for the end of the session. So I think now the best will be to move to the next part of the session, where we'll be able to listen to the stories of some of the entrepreneurs that are being now supported by the program. So let's start perhaps with BioClean, with Maima Maj and Sadhalawar Sawalha, please.
Hi all.
Hello.
How are you? I want to share the screen. I want to share the screen first, but
just allow me to take this 1 minute just to remind you that we have to be super short because we have other entrepreneurs that will as well present. So we will thank you if you could.
Just a second, because we want to share the screen.
Maimana, I don't know if you're able to share your screen. If not, perhaps we can move to the next entrepreneur, and then we get back to you to see if you have been able to solve those technical issues. So I don't know if perhaps Jaffa Jaradat from SmartDrop could take the floor now. I see you are there on the call. But I think you're muted, so if you could please unmute yourself. And we cannot hear you now, Jaffa. I don't know if
yes, I'm here.
Yeah, now yeah, perfect.
Can I share my screen?
Sure, please go ahead.
I'm sorry about is our screen is shared on yours? I just.
Maya,
okay.
if you don't,
is it shared now?
No.
Is our presentation in your screen, please?
Maimana, we cannot see your screen now, so if you don't mind that we go with Jaffa, and then we will get back to you, I promise.
Okay. Okay. No problem. No problem.
Perfect.
Yeah. Is my screen clear for you?
Yeah, it is.
Anyone can tell me if the screen is clear for you?
Perfect. Now we can see your screen, Jaffa, so please go ahead.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me for this event. I'm so happy to be a part of this event. At first, I'm Yafa Jaradat from Palestine. I'm in my second year studying data science at Palestine Polytechnic University. So when I was 17, I decided to get involved in the world of the entrepreneur. So it was a big challenge for me. Then I started working on an idea of a startup related to the environment. And after 2 years, I was in the university. Of course, my passion pushed me to continue to become an entrepreneur who has her own startup. So I started drawing my plan to achieve this goal. I went to my university business incubator and joined SwitchMed training. So SwitchMed has had a big impact on my personality. After that training, I'm able to deal with the market, customers, also the investors. I learned from others and exchange my skills with their skills. So I got many skills and experiences from others. About my startup was is Smart Drop. Smart Drop solution helps municipalities and utilities distribute water fairly to all subscribers, also to detect delicate sites accurately and quickly. So Smart Drop provides a smart software and hardware system that simulates the water distribution system and monitors work networks and lines. But the environmental impact, as I said, since my childhood, I care about the environmental sides. So as a Palestinian, we faced many challenges in the water sector. So I decided to help my country, to help my society to solve these problems. About the SwitchMed, of course, was affected my startup. So after the training of with SwitchMed in Palestine Polytechnic Incubator, I rebuilding my startup in the way that enables me to turn it into a project in a near future. So now I have an amazing business model canvas that I can present it to the investors. So finally, what I want to say is that the entrepreneur word is a big word. You have to be a determined person to succeed and achieve what you want to be. And don't let any obstacles to stop you and continue. Thank you for listening. If anyone has any questions.
Thank you so much, Jaffa. Thanks a lot for sharing your story. It's definitely very, very inspiring. So perhaps we can see now Maimana and Shadawar, sorry, if you can share your screen. If not, I don't know if you're here in the... Maimana, I see that you are there. Perhaps we can give it another try to see if you can share.
Yes, you see our presentation, please. Hello.
Hi. We can see you, but we cannot see your screen. Unfortunately, we can only see your camera. I think it might be. It might
yes,
be.
I'm going.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Can you share it from you?
I don't know if we have the presentation. I think we don't. So I think what we could, perhaps a temporary fix we can try here. I don't know if you could leave the session and join with a computer. It might be easier for you to share your screen. If you can do so, we can, in the meantime, perhaps move to the next two entrepreneurs.
Yes, but just let me try this, yeah.
Okay, let's give it one more try. If not, we can...
Okay.
Okay, I think we have found a kind of a fix here. So we will try to project your presentation through one of our computers, and like this, let's see if we can do it. Just give us 1 minute. And
Okay,
here it is.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Can you
You're
hear us?
welcome. Yeah, now we can see
Hi,
the
all.
screen, so just start doing your
Hi.
presentation, and we will try to adapt to your speed. So please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for. I'm sorry because this problem happened because we are in the university and the internet is not good here. We are BioClean project from Palestine. We are thinking. Please go to the next slide, please, if you can. Okay. We all know about the benefits of fossil fuels and.
Maimana, are you?
And the emissions that realize from them, like okay.
Maimana, I think your connection is not very good because we cannot hear you anymore.
Your connection is bad.
I think we can hear you now. Could you please try to talk? We cannot hear you now. Maimana, I'm very sorry. We will have to move to the next entrepreneur because if not, we won't have time. So if perhaps we can stop just sharing the screen, and I will give the floor to Talar Kokjan and Cynthia Crady, who are entrepreneurs from Lebanon, that will introduce sharing municipalities.
I'm sorry about this, but the internet.
So I don't know if you could help us just giving the floor to Talar and Cynthia, please.
Yeah.
I see you are there, Talar, so you can definitely start speaking.
Okay, hello, my name is Talar and Cynthia, my colleague. We are here to present you about sharing municipalities, our initiative. I leave the floor to you, Cynthia.
Yes, thank you, Talar. Can you share the screen, please?
Yeah, I will. Okay.
So, hello everyone. My name is Cynthia. I'm from Lebanon, and together with three other young women, among them Ms. Talar, we decided to start a new initiative or startup called Sharing Municipalities. So I'll explain a bit of background before we tell you about Sharing Municipalities. In a study done in 2016, two hazardous compounds, including dioxin and dibyxanthine, were identified in air in Lebanon. So these toxins raise the risk of cancer and have negative effects on human health and the environment on the long term. Hazardous solid waste management also pollutes surface and underground water and reservoirs. So we asked ourselves two questions. Why do we keep witnessing such piles of garbage on the streets every once in a while in Lebanon? Since the 90s, actually, there has never been a long-term national strategy for solid waste management in Lebanon. Instead, the government comes up with an emergency plan following every crisis, which eventually turns into a long-term and unsustainable strategy. The second question we asked ourselves is, who is responsible to ensure a successful solid waste management implementation? And through research, we found out that all social groups play an important role in this matter. These include governments, local, central and local, such as municipalities and unions of municipalities, and all types of organizations, companies, institutions, and most importantly, citizens. The Lebanese law stipulates that solid waste should be managed by municipalities. However, despite their efforts, municipalities in Lebanon often fail to design long-term solutions to solid waste issues since they lack the needed resources to implement these policies. Since the solid waste issue in Lebanon is an imminent threat to our health and our environment, we refused to be passive about it, and we started researching and came up with a suitable and sustainable model for municipalities in Lebanon. This model is inspired by the sharing cities concept in Sweden and supported by circular economy principles. We named this concept or this startup Sharing Municipalities. I will move now to my teammate Talar, who will explain to you exactly how Sharing Municipalities works.
Thank you, Cynthia. So the Sharing Municipalities model creates a network of collaboration and engagement between the different actors in the system. It's based on inclusive approach. So the waste is sorted at source and the pay-as-you-throw revenue stream is implemented. Waste is processed by the municipalities using common lands and shared manpower. Recyclable and compost are then sold to industries and farmers. So basically, each municipality will share with the other its available manpower, land, and material. An initial investment is required to kickstart this entire process. We already have 4 municipalities on board. The municipalities are mainly Ain Rihane, Jahita, Ain Tura, and Daraoun. So basically what sharing municipalities, let me explain to you the sharing municipalities concept. It's basically connects all sorts of communities, volunteers, NGOs, CBOs together in order to put a system for municipalities in order to solve the solid waste management crisis. So we started doing a meeting with mayors. So the upper level is us, our team, and the lower level are the mayors within municipalities. So what is our environmental and social impact? We are diverting and thus reducing the quantity of waste sent to landfills. We're having cleaner streets and no more garbage. And we are adopting a participatory and inclusive approach to empower citizens and raise awareness on environmental issues and solutions. So the next steps, after being part of the SwitchMed program, which helped us develop our idea and plan next steps, we're hoping to get the support to finish the data collection and sign the MOU with municipalities. Next, we will assign a steering committee and working groups, and then identify and mobilize volunteers, and then eventually establish partnerships. So please meet the team. There's Cynthia, sustainability strategy expert, Marilou, architect and urban planning expert, Christelle, logistics and renewable energy expert, and me. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Talar. Thanks a lot for introducing your organization. So let's move now to our last entrepreneur today, Guglielmo Mazza. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. So please, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. Yes. I hope you see the screen.
Yeah.
So, hi, everyone. I'm Guglielmo Mazza, and I'm an Italian environmental engineer. I am currently in Lebanon, and Talar already gave you a very deep description of the situation. So, waste is everywhere. And the direct result is exposing people to health-related hazards caused by waste. It could be floods, fires, animal breeding, pollution, and so on. What we wanted to do is to flip the problem and make sure that waste becomes the solution. So we want to overturn the perception of this waste. And how do we do it? As a startup, we run recyclable collection points. We sell recyclables to industries, and we reward people with the money we get. So we share our vision with the previous project to making sure that everyone recognizes materials as valuable products and can be empowered through them. So we run these recyclables collection points, which we aim to create as community spaces where people can drop off their materials, which are then scaled and baled to be processed in very small scale facilities to be then sold to local recycling and trading companies. For every material, we are assessing the market prices depending on the local current prices and the international prices to make sure that we will be able to generate resources to power for our operations, our workers, and for the reward that we will give to people who will join us. The reward will be managed through our software, which is our cash for trash platform. So people will be able to monitor the amount of recyclables that they brought to us, and they will be able to cash in the money, so having a small profit on their own, or to use this money to fund projects they believe in. Part of our reward system is our Trash for Good platform, so making sure that everyone can present a community project and engage their own community to make it through, thanks to their recyclables. We are a team of 4. We are growing fast with more employees on the ground, and I'm calling you right now from our first collection point in Beirut, in Bushamut. And so thank you very much for this opportunity, and to the EcoSwitch Coalition to helping us hit the ground running and grow faster. Thank you very much. So stop calling it waste and make it valuable.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Guillermo. It has been super, super inspiring. I think we are 2 minutes ahead of schedule. I don't know if there is any specific question on the chat. If so, just let me know. Either for about the program or about for Maya or any of the entrepreneurs. Okay, so I guess that's no questions. Perfect. So then perhaps we can move to the next panel. I would like to introduce my colleague, Claudia Pani, who is Impact Investment Manager here at SPRAC, and she will be talking today and moderating a panel on impact investment for sustainable businesses. So please, Claudia. Gracias, Andrea. Okay.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending this specific discussion about the role of sustainable finance for green entrepreneurs in the Mediterranean region. First of all, let me put you into the context of why SwitchMed is specifically working on sustainable finance in the region. It is simply because finance is crucial to promote and sustain the transition to a more sustainable business models, environmental projects, social projects, and programs at regional level. But to understand what actions are needed the most to push in this specific direction, we need to get a pulse of the current situation, and we need to have an understanding of what is encouraging or is holding back the sustainable investment flow, and to overcome specific challenges. This is why the SSPRAC is now currently undertaking a regional survey on sustainable and green finance to identify the barriers and enabling conditions to sustain investment in the Mediterranean area. So, while contacting and discussing with investors, we took note again that the big majority of them, of course, focus while in the investment process on the importance of the finance return. This is why somehow the matching between investors and the impact-driven businesses remain challenging. Finance industry and the investors are not keeping up with providing growth capital for positive impact. Sustainable businesses remain somehow underserved by the financial industries, the traditional financial institutions, and impact investors and venture philanthropies are still, despite the growth that we register during the last 2 years, a very small percentage of the investment industry in the region. The big majority of the investment model focuses on value creation through fast growth and quick exit strategies that, by definition, excludes companies with green or social purposes. So, however, finance industry seems that it's moving into sustainable direction, slowly, but it's moving. However, the perception of the risk of this innovative and sustainable business model remain quite high. For instance, investors face a unique risk when working in markets, geographies, and sectors where they cannot rely on a sufficient track record of validated business cases, comparable investing criteria, or data especially on emerging sectors such as the green economy. Indeed, the startups, the switchers, are the disruptors and the innovators that are so much needed today to develop new solutions and to achieve radical switch to a more sustainable economy and tackle urgent challenges like climate change, food security, affordable clean energy and water in the Mediterranean. However, despite the solutions that the new businesses can provide, on the other side, sustainable entrepreneurs are still not ready for commercial investing due to the market distortions or simply because they are excluded from investment because of no functioning sustainable investment industry. The work and the efforts of supporting an impact-driven portfolio such as the one created and sustained by the SwitchMed project is the specific space where our program, leveraging on the ecosystem approach that I'm sure you already previously understood from the introduction of my colleagues, has the opportunity to support the transition to a green economy in the region. This is exactly the momentum where the SwitchMed has the unique opportunity and chance to make a difference while we are working alongside entrepreneurs, business support organizations, industries, policymakers, and of course, investors. In order for sustainable finance to become mainstream, a collaborative effort is really required. And we have to create and enabling a different environment. Furthermore, innovative finance mechanisms and paths needed to be imagined, needed to be designed and tested to bridge the demand and the supply of a financial capital for sustainable businesses. Indeed, the collaboration is a must to overcome all these challenges. And this is why we, from the SwitchMed, have promoted the creation of national impact task forces with the aim of enabling the adoption of sustainable investing solutions. Most importantly, we want to stress the fact that the impact we wanted to achieve doesn't have to be considered as a product, but rather represents a management approach that needed to be fully integrated in a transparent way into all business creation initiatives and investment decisions, supporting therefore the entire ecosystem. We are now going to see two specific examples of national impact investing task forces, one from Tunisia and one from Lebanon, that will testify how sustainable finance will be embedded in the ecosystem to leverage on the combination of capital and business at the service of the green economy. In this sense, the scope of the task force is to facilitate this alignment between finance offer and finance demand, cooperate to integrate sustainable finance principles at the ecosystem level, and stimulate and promote the adoption of investing for impact initiatives. So now I'm very happy to leave the floor to Mr. Anis Dadou, our expert and facilitator from Tunisia that will introduce us the case from Tunisia, of course. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Claudia. Can I see the presentation? Okay. Share.
Which is the button?
I share or you?
Okay. Okay, we can see your presentation. No, and also mine. This is crazy. Can you please take off my presentation?
Yeah. Can you see it? Hi.
Yes.
Do you see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, Claudia. I'm pleased to be part of the SwitchMed initiatives for setting up a National Impact Task Force for Sustainable Finance. I'm pleased to be an external consultant and local facilitator for this initiative, which aims at boosting a green economy framework in Tunisia to support green entrepreneurship and SMEs. So the starting point here is an evolving green economy framework with different pieces of puzzle, starting from the national strategy for Green Plan Tunisia to 2030, or several initiatives from international donors program and initiatives to support green economy. But also we have an ongoing building of the regulatory framework covering several instruments and laws, such investment laws, Startup Tunisia program to boost startup ecosystem with funding and support mechanism, social business law, crowdfunding. This kind of framework, we are addressing the need to boost them to be more effective, more implemented, and to support effectively the needs of the market. And the other part is related to who funds the green project in Tunisia, which mainly composed of traditional finance instruments and emerging players and emerging instruments. So there are new players now in the market, such impact investor, setting up green bond, SMEs programs, or crowdfunding platform. So the starting point from us is to set up a national impact task force to make all this piece of puzzle and create, animate this ecosystem to be more effective and to have increased rollout. So I will not go through details of who funds green project, but it is a multi-layer program, multi-layer process starting from the international donors or social funds, which are backing several players, varying from ANAVA fund, which is the umbrella fund for startups, public funds, VCs, SMEs programs, business angel, acceleration program, banks, and so on. But all the players now, they are taking individual approach or developing individual product to serve either SMEs or green startups with intermediate layer of asset managers or program management entities. So the full picture is made by several players with insufficient coordination, or the offer is not reaching with the appropriate way or to market, to the demand. And for that, I would pass through this kind of mapping of all financial stakeholders, which are the offer developer, which are many in Tunisia. I would mention some new entities such Green Works program, divided by international donors, public funds, which are supporting SME business, SME funding programs, such backed by credit lines and several players. So these variety of players needs to have a common framework. That's what said Claudia. It's an ecosystem approach to adapt the offer and to adapt also the regulatory framework. And here, the purpose of the task force is to address the key pain. The key pains of the market are, as Claudia mentioned, part of them. First of all, for green economy, we address the market awareness at all levels, consumer and players, financial stakeholders, and so on. The particularity of the green project funding is the limited incubation and knowledge part to support the green project, which is to be coupled with the finance funding approach. We need, for the green project and SMEs, needs both technical assistance, knowledge incubation, and funding, which is not yet in the market, not sufficiently combined. And the particular also for green projects, the need of this kind of approach for prototyping linked to industrialization, and it's different from the other startup system. The third point we address this task force is the collaboration between the green, green ecosystem stakeholders, for example, from industry and environment players. Okay, the framework currently talking with all the major players. The current framework for startup is more digital and IT oriented, not green oriented. You have not focused on a green project, so that needs to be adapted. As all the markets, maybe it is the common insights of this. We are still in traditional debt instrument, such banking or microfinance, which are not adapted or merely warranty-oriented, not affordable, and not lacking expertise internally in the financial stakeholders. And for that, the other key pains are relative to how to make all the players play together, how to develop offer to take the risk, because it is not high return rate investment, but the awareness of the impact should be developed. And even for the current financial instrument, they are not they are not innovative, they are not blended and combining all players. For example, the international donors, we have many programs, but they are not sufficiently optimized to back up the players. For that, as Claudia mentioned, the ecosystem approach is to set up investment task force. And for this, we are handling the preparation of task force, which are, two of them are demand-oriented. We involve SMEs, one for SMEs and one for entrepreneurs. So we have two separate approaches, and involving all the players for either supporting SMEs or incubation, knowledge, innovation, and funding. And the other task force is about how to redesign the financial product instrument in the market and how to adapt the offer. So it is more offer focused. We have two demand focused, one offer design focused. And one of the ideas coming from the interviews, one from the meeting with the stakeholders, we collaborate with the SwitchMed National Partnership locally to further discuss and to get feedbacks and to roll out the approach. The ideas are coming, are too hot now, but it need to be further discussed inside the task force. How to set a dedicated green fund, public-private green fund instruments. We animate the ecosystem around a green tech cluster, which is branded locally and to be more, communicated. We adapt the Startup Act 2.0, which need to be more green-oriented rather than IT-oriented. We set up B2B digital platform, linking and matchmaking the offer and the demand, and specific incentives for incubators in green, because this is the missing part, and the new green players, such, for example, for blending the offer or serving the renewable energy project and so on. And this kind of ideas will be discussed further in the national task force which are planned, and maybe in the next month with on the format event. But let me say that the first interviews and the first discussion shows that all the ecosystem is really motivated to have this kind of approach, which is missing currently, as all sectors playing together, developing blended finance, developing, because each individual action is not impactful. But when we animate the action and we develop a common framework and common approach, it is more impactful, more evident for all players. And one of the example I would show, task force need to be animated with appropriate platform. For example, digital platform. Digital platform is like a B2B marketplace, linking the market demand, SMEs, startups, or other players in the green economy, and with both of players which are service provider and funding provider, financial stakeholders and service provider to support the entrepreneur and the SMEs, which can be public or private. This kind of structuring the approach, and we enhance the task force with the expertise from SwitchMed or from other players, and we have kind of supporting this process through digital also, not only with meetings, can be sustainable way in the short and midterm. And we are convinced that the task force now are proposing already to go further in the process, and we hope we can reach this impact in the coming months. So pleased to talk to you about this initiative, great initiative, very challenging and expiring. And I will let leave the floor to Tracy for the Lebanese case. And we are working together to share experience in the SwitchMed network.
Thank you very much,
Thanks.
Anis. Thank you very much, and welcome, Tracy. That she's the expert.
Hello.
Hi, she's our expert from Lebanon. She's now responsible for the facilitation of the activities on sustainable finance in Lebanon. Tracy, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Claudia. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for the invitation to speak today about the Impact Investment Task Force in Lebanon. So I will share my screen. And okay. Okay, I think I have. Okay.
We cannot see your screen. So, can you by chance, guys, show the presentation of Tracy? Tracy, in the meantime, can you please try to share it again, please? She's not online anymore, no? Tracy, are you there? I don't see. She's not online. Okay, she's connecting again.
Okay, sorry, I was.
Okay, can you try it again, please?
I will not share my screen because the Zoom was not responding anymore. So, and he kicked me out from the Zoom. So I decided I can do it without sharing my screen.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, and if needed, I can share my screen later with if someone needs my
yeah. In any case, we have your presentation, and we will share it with the public. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, and sorry for this technical issue. So I will make sure to finish on time before 1. I know that everyone is starving. So as my colleague before mentioned about the situation in Lebanon, we are living in a roller coaster. We cannot predict what's happening in tomorrow's in our country, but what we are sure that in today's that the green initiatives are booming and people are producing locally. And the market is shifting towards local and green products. So also in terms of consumption, people, due to the inflation rate and to unavailable of international products, people are consuming locally and are encouraging green initiatives. So for this reason, it's important that to include financial institutions in this situation in Lebanon. And as we know that financial institutions play an instrumental role in financing the transition toward a more resilient, inclusive, and green economy. So in the course of my appointment to the task force in Lebanon, I identified the sustainable finance organization that they are working toward sustainable finance in Lebanon. And we identified more than 50 organizations working in Lebanon that they are active in sustainable finance. And only out of the 50, only we have 5 that they focused only on sustainable finance. So what does this mean? That you have organizations from international donors to service providers to academics and universities that they are encouraging the innovation and the production of of green initiatives in the country. And in the other hand, we have the financial institutions such as venture capital, banks, impact investment, microfinance, and angel investors. They are in a way that they are investing in those initiatives, but it's, as we know, that it's not enough. And after discussing with those financial institutions why it's not enough, because as Claudia mentioned in her introduction, that first the startups that they are not ready to receive venture capital, and 2, and Lebanon is a small market, so we have to prove that our market is scalable, and what they will do in Lebanon, it can be scaled in other countries. This is from the side of the startups. But from the side of financial institutions, after sending the survey, we realized that many ventures that they have a lack of understanding of what it means sustainable finance and what it means to invest in green startups. Because for them, investing in ESG is similar to investing in green startups, and they look always for the financial return more than the social or environmental impact. So for this reason, in the task force, in the impact investment task force, we need a collective actions to work towards green economy. And you identify like 3 main pillars to work with the investors. The first one is to enhance the role of the financial sector to build a local approach for sustainable finance. In this pillar, we will understand the pain points of the investors and why they are reluctant to invest in green startups, and we will show them the opportunity and explore case practices or from the region, because in the region there are few success stories, and on a global level. In the second pillar, as you may know, if we don't have the government with us or regulators to set guidelines, we cannot move or we cannot force any venture capital to invest in green. So the second pillar, it will be focused on the role of regulator in unlocking finance mechanisms for scaling up green innovation in the country. And in the third pillar, we will involve startups and investors, and we will call it impact and target setting. So it's the third pillar will increase the positive impact of financial institutions and link startups to investors. And this will be achievable with the Eco Coalition as with Fondation Diane and the Eco Coalition in the country. So their role will be to outreach and to find startups and to provide them the necessary tools to be ready for the investors, to be ready to present their startup to investors. So in conclusion, what we are doing is very challenging. And today we know that there is no one solution. So now with the help of the SwitchMed, we are progressively building a toolkit to help us to move towards sustainability and to help investors to understand the green market and why it's very important to invest in green startups. So I think it's a collective approach, and we need to work all together. So we don't have to work in silos. So we need to work with startups, investors, and government at the same time. So, and this is why, thanks to SwitchMed, because we are working on both sides, a top-down and a bottom-up approach at the same time. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Tracy. Very, very interesting. And thank you very much for sharing your inputs. Okay, we have space now for maybe one questions from the public, if there's any. Otherwise, I will give back the floor to my colleague, Giorgio Mosangini. Okay, it seems that we don't have any questions. Thank you, Giorgio.
So, thank you very much to everybody, all the attendees. And of course, we want to thank all the speakers. Sorry for the pressure, for the time of the intervention, but we had a very busy schedule today. Also, thanks to the interpreters. I want to thank SCPRAC team, the Green Entrepreneurship team. So everybody, Isham, Daniel, Andrea, Claudia, Paul, Anna, etc. I want to thank all the local partners in the different countries, of course the experts, the trainers, all the stakeholders that are involved in the implementation of the program. We had a brief overview today of all the activities and the stakeholders that are involved. And particularly, I want to thank all the entrepreneurs that have the ambition and also the courage to develop their eco-innovative ideas to solve environmental and social challenges through their business ideas. So thank you for your participation today, and see you soon.